Long ago, 5 men set out from their own paths to achieve their own destinies. Now they are brothers, united under one cause. Alone they are strong, together they are unbreakable. They are bonded by metal.
They say great art is difficult to understand, but easy to enjoy.
Hey, Beavis. It's hard, but it's not like hard.
Yeah.
Hello. What's going on, dudes? We are ranking the albums of Megadeth. Thrash metal titans have been around since the mid-'80s. If you're here, you probably know the story, so there's no need to go over the story because, well, it's like, no, water's wet, the sky's blue, grass is green, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, I'm trying to get this thing down so we can, well, bring me down. But let's see. Here we go. All right. So yeah, I like this layout in back of me. It's really nice. That Ed Repka, it's looking really good. Really good. I see comments going off in the chat. How you all doing here? Melted Copper, Lord Thoth, your Muslim uncle, Mars Monkey Max. And of course, if you're someone who likes to have it both ways, well, guys, we are streaming this on Rumble as well. So please. Choose your lane. Choose which way you want to have it, front or back, YouTube or Rumble. I don't care, but you have the option at least. So yeah, Megadeth have a new album coming out tomorrow. Supposedly it's their final album. Could it be? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out in time. It's their 17th album. It's self-titled. Very appropriate. But I decided, man, I would like to do a video about this. Yeah, by the way, Dad, it's Nick. It's Black Flame. How you doing, Dad? Nice to see you, man. With Megadeth, man, 16 albums. I'm like, oh, should we do it with the new album? Then I thought to myself, no, I don't want to do it with the new album. You know why I don't want to do a new album? Because it's easy right off the bat to just say, oh, it's the best thing ever since sliced bread. You don't have as much of like a objective opinion because you're caught in like the hype and the high of it all. And I feel like doing all these albums in retrospect gives it a more honest review. Now, of course, I'll be doing a review on the album tomorrow for Bonded by Metal, but I felt like while I'm here, as far as ranking the albums proper, this would be a good way of placing the albums in their proper place. So yes, we're going to do that. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. Okay. Is that right, Mr. Disciple of Rock? Is that right?
Yes, very much like Dave Mustaine's ego. It is going to be huge.
So how you been, sir?
Oh, I've been good, like doing really good. We got to get back into the swing of this. It's a new year, new beginnings. And I think, hey, the new year's starting off really great with the new Megadeth album. For sticking in the thrash lane, we got Overkill doing something. So, hey, I think it's going to be a good year for Bonded by Metal. And obviously, I'm happy to kick it off the right way on your channel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We will be posting this as a video on Bonded by Metal shortly after. So if someone doesn't catch this live, we'll be catching it on the video on Bonded by Metal. Let's bring in Pope Metallicus. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back and glad to be doing this because, Megadeth's been a long time coming for this. Like, I haven't done a full deep dive on them in a while. I never did one for Rock and Roll Religion, even though we did do Rust in Peace over on Rumble. So, this is going to be a good one. And like Disciple said, it's going to be a good year. We got Megadeth coming out with final album, Press X to Doubt.
Metallica
Exodus in March. New Exodus album, March. Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. that will definitely be a review for Bonded by Metal as well. That will for sure be. So I can't wait for it. No, I've been to Megadeth for 20 plus years. I am, as Willem Dafoe says in something in the first part, I'm something of a fan myself. Even though he didn't say the word fan, you get what I'm trying to get at. I am a super fan beyond human belief. Now, just because I'm a super fan doesn't mean I'm not gonna, pretend every single album was great, because there's some horrifically bad albums. There's some really albums. There's some pretty good albums, and there's some of the greatest albums of all time in all of music in this guy. You really do get the variety show with this catalog. You really do. It's quite insane. And while all the kids in school were all the Metallica heads, I respect Metallica. I like their first 4 albums. But to me, I was like, fuck all these guys. I'm going to go the Megadeth route. And I just became obsessed with Megadeth. And my first album I bought in stores in 2004 was The System Has Failed at a Best Buy. And it's been off to, the races since. I've only seen them a handful of times. I haven't seen them live since 2012. That was Gigantour with Motorhead as direct support. That's the last time I've seen them. So that was now 14 years ago. And some of the tours since then really kept my interest in terms of what they're playing in a set list or some of the lineups. But this time around, I will absolutely be seeing, of course. I'm sure they'll do a headliner for it. And on top of the direct support for Iron Maiden as well that they're doing in the United States of America. All right, go ahead, Disciple. You're ready to sound off.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say me and Pope will be going seeing a show together later this year, and
hell yes.
Oh, that's gonna make some fun content for Bonded by Metal.
Yeah,
spoiler. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to that one. But you gotta tell the Megadeth, not the Megadeth, the Metallica fans that Dave Mustaine wrote all the good stuff for Metallica.
Well, yeah. If you're here, you already know that. That's the thing. I feel like me saying that is just kind of like confirming the obvious to the converted type of deal. So It's like it goes without saying. If you're here, you know better. Is that right, Massgrave? How you doing, buddy? So what's up, fellas?
Hey, Massgrave. How's it going, man?
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you the chart. Okay, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge, and I think it's going to make a lot of sense, really. You're going to look at it and be like, okay, this Nick guy, he's making a lot of sense here. He's making a lot of sense, but I'm not going to show this chart off until it's all said and done. So this is what it looks like. Let me get it up for you guys. Okay. Right
Nick,
there.
Careful.
There. Yeah. So if you see right there, so you see Nick, Disciple, Pope, and all scores for all rankings. And I'm going to sound off on the albums, and you guys are going to tell me where you have it ranked in your 1 through 16. I have mine already ranked, so you guys better be ready for this. I made sure I had this really planned out, well, kind of a bit to the T, because, well, that should be the expectation. All right, so let me get the album. First, we're going to start off with... Chat, dudes, are you ready, guys? Chat, panel, YouTube, Rumble, guys, are you all ready?
Are you ready? No, shut down! I said, are you ready?
All right, guys, let's start off with this album here. Okay, we are going to start off with, you ready for this one? We're going to start off with, let's start off on a bit of a downer just to get out of the way. Let's start off with Megadeth's 8th album, Risk.
Oh,
woo! Hey, if we're going to be Debbie Downers, we might as well just get it out of the way. Just cleanse ourselves of the misery early. So, okay. Yeah, Risk. This is an album. This is an album that, boy, what a tough album to get.
This was an album whose memory I'd successfully repressed until just now.
When they say Risk, is that like the what they're describing what it's going to be like listening to this album? Because I'm pretty sure the Suicide Hotline was really busy when this album came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so with Risk, this is obviously the album for those of you who are not in the know, you're just here hanging out, which thank you, by the way. If you're more normie, I'll give you some little lore on this one. This is the album where they went full commercial. They're kind of already hinting at it as far back as 1992's Countdown to Extinction. But this is where they go truly all in mainstream hard rock that wouldn't be out of place on like a
Alice in
Nickelback
Chains.
or a Theory of a Dead Man. That's a disrespect to Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains have some heavy songs.
Yeah, I have some very strong opinions about this era of Megadeth because I think we can get into it. There's some Guns N' Roses copying. There's some.
Oh, of course there is. Yeah,
it's like they
is.
copy every butt rock band known to mankind. And listen, Alice in Chains, if you like them, respect to you. But like he even copies them. He copies everything but what Megadeth should have been.
So with Risk, it has a song a WCW wrestler Goldberg used called "Crush 'Em." For those of you who remember the WCW days, it's a horrific song. Goldberg, shame on you for using that song. And yes, a Mars Monkey could say it would definitely be a response to what Metallica were doing with Load and Reload, because those were 96, 97, Risk was 99. And you look at the cover, there's no Vic Rattlehead. The logo's been modified, obviously. And usually that's always a big sign of a dramatic change for a band when the logo changes. That's always like the big, like, first red flag. So you got no traditional logo and you have no Vic Rattlehead, their mascot, on the cover. These songs on here are terrible. I'm going to rank this one at number 16, dead last. I mean, why would I give it any other ranking, really? Why would I give it any other ranking? It's a terrible album. I've tried going back to it over time, and the more I go back to it, the more I just strongly, flat out resent this album. There's some songs here that are maybe mediocre at best, and then I've always tried to like use the argument in my own head. Well, what if this was the art like an album from insert mainstream rock band here? Would I appreciate it down? Because there are some bands where you could flip that role reverse and you could say, you know what, I could accept this for another band. No, even for another band, I wouldn't accept this. If this was songs on an Alice in Chains or Guns N' Roses or a Soundgarden, I would reject this album flat out as well, strongly. So this is just, to me, this is the closest thing to being objectively bad, even especially with songs like Crush 'Em. Crush 'Em is so terrible. You feel like
David Mustaine was doing when he was watching this album with a vice grip.
It's very appropriately titled that they called it Risk. I was like, wow. There's a song Breadline in there too. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. Number 16, Disciple. What's your score? Where's your ranking? 16 to 1. Where is this one?
All right. I'm going to be starting some controversy. Number 14, and I'm going to tell you why. This is the diarrhea and barfing that, this is Montezuma's Revenge at both ends. It's number 14 for me. It's terrible, right? It's like, it's like eating bad food, getting diarrhea, and then you're going out both ends, right? What's worse, right? Obviously going out both ends is terrible, but you really got to pinpoint the thing that gave it to you to really say that was the worst. So for that reason, I'm putting this at number 14. I'm setting something up here.
I'm curious to see where he's going with this. Something tells me I think I know where he's going to go. If he ranks Risk above a certain album, we may have to disown him. We may have to.
Listen, this is still a 0 out of 10 album for me.
All right. So, Pope, what's your ranking for this one?
I'm actually right between you two. I'm going to put this at number 15. There is exactly one album I hate more than this because I have an irrational hatred for that record. But yeah, it's pretty goddamn bad. It's right down there with the worst they've ever done. And unfortunately, for being a response to Load and Reload, unfortunately for Megadeth, it's not any better than those.
No, I hate Load and Reload with a passion. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like those two are shockingly the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Shockingly. And I trust me when I say I don't feel good when I say that. I don't take pride in it. I feel kind of dirty. Like I feel like I have like I feel like I gotta like shower when I say that, but I can't help but how I feel, man.
Like at least
It's
Load and Reload
shockingly
had
the
some.
lesser two evils.
Like, as
What
long
world we live in when that's a problem?
Yeah, at least Load and Reload have like one or two songs on each that aren't absolutely awful. Everything on this album is terrible.
Oh yeah. No, it's a bad one. It's a truly bad one. It's oh man. Risk is guys, it really was a risk when they took this one. It really was. Oh, well guys, let's move on from Risk because the more I think about this album, the more I feel dirty about it. I really do. When Metallica released the Coffee Tale album, I threw up. I let them throw up my mouth a little bit. Your muscle, uncle.
You're not wrong.
I'm sorry that you had to live through that. I actually like. I truly feel for you. I'm not of the sympathetic nature. I'm not one of those guys who like says sorry about everything. For that, I am genuinely sorry, man. I am so freaking sorry. But okay, we're gonna go next into The World Needs a Hero. So let's get to this one. So this is the album actually that was right after Risk. So you know what, Pope, I'm gonna let you lead off with your score on The World Needs a Hero.
I mean, this one's not a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's better, like as it almost has to be. But I mean, this is one of those albums I kind of actively avoid from them. Like this whole period from them, I just kind of skip right over from Countdown, not so much, but anything between that and their Reformation era, I really am just not a fan of. But this one, I would probably put up at like number 12.
Okay. You have yours written down so they don't get mixed up, right? Because I'm writing your numbers down, so you have it all set, right?
Yes.
Okay, good, awesome. Let me put that in, jot that down. Number 12. Okay, cool, awesome. We got a number 12. Okay, for me, this is a weird album for me because you can tell obviously they knew that they needed to reverse course. Obviously, this is the last album that Marty Friedman played on with the band. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was actually the first album with Al Pitrelli. Risk was the last album with Marty Friedman. This is the first album with Al Pitrelli. Now, Al Pitrelli, you guys may have heard, he's done some stuff on Alice Cooper's albums. He's also done some stuff on Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And he's a killer guitar player. He's a seriously killer guitar player. And he has some really dazzling solos on this album. And there's songs like Recipe for Hate, Warhorse, which start out very promising. And then kind of goes off into this like, oh, well, that's the stuff of Megadeth I didn't like. That it starts off from being my Megadeth to not being. And then you have a song called Return to Hangar. And you're like, guys, really? Return to Hangar? When you have to revisit old ground that far along down the road, it's a sign that you're getting desperate. And that's unfortunate because I feel like a better album should have come out of this band. From Mustaine, Ellison, Al Pitrelli. It really should have been a better album. I feel like there was potential there, but I feel like this was just shit. We're fucked. Risk did not pay off. Literally, it did pay off and figuratively. And now we're stuck. And they put out this album, and it seemed like it just had mixed reviews at the time. I know some people who like it, but I know anyone who's like truly in love with it. It doesn't seem like it's a one that is on many people's rankings. But for my rankings, I put The World Needs a Hero at number 11 for me. Number 11. All right, Mr. Disciple, where are you with this album?
I'm going to just stick with where you guys are, but I'm probably going to put it at, we'll put it at like 11, maybe 10. But, we're going to say 11 because it does close strong and it does kind of usher in when Megadeth starts to find it again a little bit. I like, we'll get into it more. I don't think the system has failed really gets them back. But this is the Titanic. Not the Titanic, but this is the ship turning the wheel, right? The rudder is turned. I will say that the system has failed is the ship beginning to turn. It's not there, but it's beginning to turn. So for that, you know
I would
what?
agree on that.
We'll put this at like 10. Well, I'll one up you guys and I'll put it at 10.
Ooh, you're generous.
Yeah, and I'm being generous just because at least he saw the writing on the wall. He heard the cry of hatred of Risk, and he started to turn the ship. So I'm going to be generous just for the fact there was an attempt.
Okay. Hey, valid, man. Valid. I appreciate your authenticity and where it comes from. All right, we're gonna go next into cryptic writings. See, we're trying to make sure we get through this era as quick as possible. I'm here to make quick moves and say we get through this quick.
So we never have to talk about this again.
Yes. Also, when I dug for these covers too, I made sure to make it a point to dig out the original album covers, not anything from the remasters, because I'm that guy. I know the original covers for a lot of these. Some of them stayed the same from the remasters from the originals. Some of them they changed. Risk was one they changed. Cryptic Writings was one they changed. Killing Is My Business is one that they changed. Cryptic Writings was in our own. Okay. And that cover was like, it was the most mindless change. Just like, you guys might as well show just stuck with this one. So anyways, Cryptic Writings. Okay. For me, I'm trying to see, where did I rank Cryptic Writings? Okay. I'll just lead off with what's great. The song Trust is one of the best album openers in all the Megadeth catalog. It's a great song on its own merits, even though it's a hard rock song. It's a well-written, memorable. It's a great way to ease in a live show too. Because if either you go in all guns blazing or you go with a smooth hard rocker like this that has a metalized slant to it, you could do songs like this. But then there's songs on here I can't really stand. Use the Man. She-Wolf is fine, but stuff like
She-Wolf is great on their live album from the Web Theater. That version is monstrous because it has like a 4-minute guitar solo to end it. But the album version is just okay.
I'll get even. Sin. There's some really bad songs on here. There's some like, and it's not once again nothing polarizingly bad. It's just like, wow, this is not good, guys. What were you thinking? I'm gonna give this a very not so generous number 14 for me. This is a step above Risk in another album. I really don't like Cryptic Writings. I have friends who like it, and you know what? That's great, but for me, I can't stand this album. All right, Disciple, where are you at with this one?
All right, well, there's some good stuff on here, right? Trust, Vortex, and FFF are okay. But it really does stick into that butt rock kind of thing that just Megadeth became obsessed with. So I'm giving this 11 because there is far worse coming down that are later on in Megadeth, where it's just Megadeth repeats itself. So I'm putting this at 11, not because I want to, but because I feel like I have to.
Okay. So you said number 11, just so I heard that correctly? Okay.
Number 11.
Well, if you want to do number 11, you can do a number 11. Okay. All right, Pulp, where are you at with Cryptic Writings?
You know, I think I'm going to put this one at number 13. And like Mars Monkey said, they were sober for this record, so they don't even have that excuse.
Yeah, they were. I had Dave Mustaine's book. They were really clean for this album.
It's like, I could see it if you guys were all stoned out of your gourd all the time and came out with crap like this. But no, you were sober for this one, so what the hell?
I know you're going to hate me for this opinion, Nick, because we kind of talked about this behind the scenes. My problem with this era of Megadeth, it's really trying to, it sounds like it's trying to be like The Last Temptation from Alice Cooper, Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains. Like every time I hear this stuff.
You're right, though. You're right.
Because he even sings like Alice Cooper does in this era.
Oh, God, yeah. In the 90s, he went all in on it.
And I get it. He loves Alice Cooper because Alice was kind of partially for helping him get sober. But it just becomes, dude, I get it. You want to be Alice Cooper, but you're Megadeth. Like, come on.
We already have an Alice Cooper. We need you to be Megadeth.
I think that's what annoys me most about Megadeth during this era. Whereas, like, Risk is just bad. Some of the other stuff isn't terrible if it's not for the fact that this is not Megadeth, right? This isn't Rust in Peace. This isn't So Far, So Good, So What. This isn't, Peace Sells or Killing Is My Business. This is something entirely else. Doesn't suck on its own merits, but it sucks for who you are. And that's the thing that was frustrating me about listening to this era of Megadeth a lot.
Cryptic Writings, unlike Risk, there are songs on here that I could pass for another band, unlike Risk, where Risk, those songs would be attached to our band and they still wouldn't get a pass. Some of these songs would pass with a more mainstream hard rock band, but Megadeth, they definitely do not get the pass. And it's weird because, once again, we have this acclaimed lineup, or I guess you could say the longest lasting lineup of Mustaine, Ellison, Marty Friedman, Nick Menza. They did Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction, Euthanasia, Cryptic Writings together. This is the last of the 4 albums they did together of this lineup that lasted the longest of all of Megadeth's revolving door of lineups. This is the 4th album of these guys. So what was your score again, Disciple? Just so I mean, you said it was 13?
I gave it no 11. 11.
So you're both were 11.
13.
No, I give it 13.
Oh, okay. Pope 13, Disciple 11. Okay, got it. Okay, dudes. Well, let's bring it down, okay? Wasn't this Nick's last album with Dave Ellefson? His last album first was The World Needs a Hero, and then Ellefson rejoined in time for 13 and did 3 more albums. And then was his last one, second time he was the last one was Dystopia. So what's up, Mr. Anime Guy? Peace Sells, So Far, So Good, Euthanasia are in it, but don't underestimate the frogs. We're covering it all, dude. We're covering it all. But we're gonna get to the next one here. This album is The System Has Failed. This is their 10th album. It's got a supremely badass cover. So I love this cover. It's so great. Oh,
it's a great cover. Unfortunately, the album behind it is not as good.
It's Ed Repka Worship, even though it's not Ed Repka, which is funny. That was not Ed Repka, but you look at it and you're like, wow, whoever did this cover really likes Ed Repka. Now, this is my first Megadeth album I ever bought. It's the first album that I bought. It was brand new. I can't remember if it was the day it came out, the weekend, the week. It was right around that timeline. It was September 2004. I was going into my junior year of high school with this album coming out. So there is a bit of a special place this album has in my lot. Now, I don't rank it as high as other albums, but it's not going to be as low. And maybe that does have something to do with it. There's songs on here that I truly love. Blackmail the Universe is freaking amazing. It's a great opener. Die Dead Enough is a great blend of like the metal and the hard rock merge. And they got killer songs like what's it called? Truth Be Told, Tears in a Vial. I love those songs. There's some songs that are not so good on here that kind of hit on Risk territory, like The Scorpion. The Scorpion is not a good song, and it really overstays its welcome. You see that, like, My Kingdom is it's not bad, but it's a very underwhelming closer. Very underwhelming closer, considering how the album kind of kicks out the gate and just kind of goes out on a bit of a whimper. But the cover though is really cool, and it was the album that reformed Megadeth, because what happened was this album was originally supposed to be a solo album, but Megadeth still owed albums under contract because they originally split up because Dave Mustaine had an injury that he originally thought was permanent that he was actually able to recover from for his wrist and playing guitar. So due to contractual obligations, the Megadeth name was slapped on it, and well, the band was at least a lot more on the right track with this album than they were per se on The World Needs a Hero. And he even had Chris Poland, who did some leads on the first 2 albums. He got Chris Poland to play lead guitar on most of the songs on his album. So that was cool that Chris Poland was a session player for this album. So for me, my ranking of The System Has Failed is number 7 for me. So I'm curious to see where the boys are at with this one, because we might have some clashing. But Disciple, where are you at with this one?
Ooh, I'm not going to defer to Pope for this one. While I kind of think about this a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Pope.
I'm gonna put this one at number 9. Like it's it's not horrible. It's not one of their best. But like you say, it's the beginning of kind of their Reformation period, and I do kind of, and it does have its high points. So I'll put it just below mid range.
So hold on, let me get this up. Okay, 7. Bear with me, guys. So all right. Well, what would you say would be a standout track for you for this one? Sorry, my thing is acting up. So what would be the thing that really gets your gears going for this one?
The intro was I forget which track.
Blackmail the Universe.
That one was really freaking good.
Okay, and you said it was number 9, right? For The System Has Failed? Okay, I just want to make sure I saw that correctly.
And I think that's kind of what drags it down for me, is it starts off really strong, and then by the end of the album, you're just kind of like, yeah, this kind of petered out quick.
Masquerade, that's funny you mentioned Gigantour. My first time I saw him was the 06 version, but what made me pay attention to him touring was the 05 tour, because they had Dream Theater as direct support, Fear Factory's on there, and they had a great opener I discovered on that tour. I didn't go to the show, but I saw their name and it stuck out to me. I'm like, I gotta look into this, man. And they're called Nevermore. And I was thinking, ooh, that's a cool name. And they were putting out a new album at the time. I heard it. I fell in love with it. I became obsessed with Nevermore through that. I was like, dude, this band is incredible. I couldn't believe it. I was like, bummed, because I was like, not only was I missing Megadeth, I was missing Nevermore as well. Nevermore is so good, such a killer band. Oh, I love them. And then I learned that the singer of that band, Warrell Dane, used to be in a band called Sanctuary, and Sanctuary's first album was produced, lo and behold, by Dave Mustaine. So yeah, a lot of history and lore there. And yeah, if you all in the chat don't know Nevermore, please check yourself and get into some Nevermore. You'll be glad that you did it. Okay. Disciple.
Alrighty, so I'm
got
gonna
a
put
7 and a 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this one at 8. Right between you guys. Sandwich.
We're all right in between. I like how we're all just like in between with our scores.
And you guys are gonna hate me, but I don't hate the Scorpion, actually.
Oh.
The reason I'm gonna put this at 8, I get listen, we all can't have good takes. But I think upon listen, I think I was disappointed by this album because this is like the first, badass Megadeth album cover that we had in a while. If you look at the album covers in between from Rust in Peace, this is like a real Megadeth album. And so I think I was expecting, now that Vic is back on the album covers, Megadeth is going to be killer. It's going to be awesome. And it's not as killer as stuff prior. And there's still the infection of, we won't get into the album that I'm going to mention, but there's still an infection of a specific album that lingers in this album. But you hear the real Megadeth wanting to return. But I do think upon future listens, this album may actually move up. But for now, I'm going to give it its home at 8.
Okay, so you are The System Has Failed 8. Okay, interesting. Okay, hey, I can roll with that. They're doing, I heard about that. I'm gonna be seeing Sanctuary. Actually, I think they're actually doing Hell's Heroes 2026. So I'm looking, and obviously not with Warrell Dane, because obviously he passed on. Rest in peace, Warrell Dane. But I heard about Nevermore as well reforming. I'm a little bit more skeptical on that one, because I don't know how you're going to replace the great voice of Warrell Dane. There's a lot of great singers out there, but how you replace that voice, that's a bit of a tall order, because that's such a unique voice as well. Very unique voice. But hey, I welcome it. But okay, guys, let's go into some more hard rock territory. Are we ready to go euthanasia on this one? This cover is so freaking 90s. You look at the computer generated image here, and you're like, wow, this is so freaking 90s. And I do like the play on the title, euthanasia, instead of EUTH. I thought that was a cool name. For me, Euthanasia is an album that I would rank at number 12. And yes, guys, when this show's all said and done, we will have a chart that shows all our albums listing. But I'm going to give this one number 12. Reckoning Day is a pretty solid opener. There's some great solos here going on. I'd even say I like Mustaine singing on some of the songs. It's easy to say stuff like a Tulamana is good. It's not my favorite song, but there's some fine stuff in here. The Killing Road's okay. But there's some stuff on here like the title track and Black Curtains are kind of but at least Friedman has a few good solos on here. I'm a number 12 on this one. Masquerade say he's number 3. Hey, no, I have some buddies who this is their first Megadeth album. I mean, hey, you guys like it, you like it, but this is in the lower tier for me. What about you, Pope?
I mean, I remember this album when it came out because I mean, you and I are pretty much the same age.
Yeah,
I didn't own the record, but I heard some of it on the radio and stuff like that. And yeah, I gotta say this one's number 14 for me. This one's way down there.
You're even lower than me. Okay.
Like this is just. I think it's one of those things where this is the first album I really realized, going back through the whole system where this sound was going to continue on into Risk and the others, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is where it started.
Yeah.
What about you, Disciple? Are you number 13 on this one?
No. I'm lower. I'm 15.
You're what?
Yeah. This album made me want.
Jeez, even I find that harsh.
Yeah, this album made me want euthanasia. Holy crap! This album is horrific. I wanted to pick my brains out. I wanted to do anything to not listen to this absolute abortion of an album.
Than Risk.
Because I told you, Risk is a symptom.
Risk. This actually has a few good songs on it.
No, because Risk is a symptom. Risk is a byproduct of this.
But Reckoning Day is a great opener.
This song is the diarrhea phase of Megadeth.
That the album as a collective whole, you can, I don't disagree.
It's the diarrhea phase.
It leads where it goes. But it's a great opener. There's great opener here.
This is the oh shit, I got diarrhea phase. Where Risk is the I'm going at both ends, this is terrible. But this is the realization of this is going to be bad. You know it's going to be bad. So you're kind of not surprised at how bad Risk is. It's because you knew it was gonna be that bad based off the way it's going. That's why this album is number 15 for me. Holy cow, this album is bad.
From what I talked to old heads, and you know what, Masquerade, I'm going to go with you on Train of Consequences. I've kind of been back and forth on that one, but I can dig me some Train of Consequences. You could say, it is the beginning of what led down the path, but from what I talked to old heads, it seems like Risk was still a big shock to them at the time. So I guess for them, they didn't see it coming to that point. I guess obviously it's easier to say now in retrospect that it led it down that road, but no one knew. But for me, there's some bangers on here, and those bangers for me drown out the stuff that I cannot stand on this album, like Black Curtains. I can't stand that song.
Yeah, that song's pretty fucking awful.
Oh man, it's pretty bad. But man, Reckoning Day. Dude, Reckoning Day is a great riff opening too. Yeah, and it's got the hard rock stuff. But it's melded a lot well. It feels like it would have not been out of place on Countdown. All right. So let me get 12, 15, and 14 on Euthanasia. Wow. I didn't think this was going to become like this on this one. Who would have thought this would have been a more divisive album?
I knew this video was gonna get spicy. I knew that, and that's why I've been so excited for this one.
And that's why we do stuff like this, because like we're right, like you say, like all along we've been kind of right next to each other, like right in the same range. And this one, we're like well, not miles apart, but we got a pretty good spread on it.
Yeah, just wait till you see what I put at 16. Everyone's gonna hate me for that one, but I have my reasons for it.
Yeah, well,
we'll get there.
I think everyone already knows where I'm putting it in there, but
I think I know what you're putting at, and I might have to temporarily boot you back out before I throw you back in.
I do have a saving grace for it.
There's no saving grace for having something that low. There's none. None exists. I welcome you to prove it. Oh, okay. Anyways, fellow dudes, let's get into this next one here. We're going to go into United Abominations, the first one of the computer-generated imagery covers. So, okay, this one was the first one that had the Drover brothers on there, Sean and Glenn Drover. Sean's drumming is kind of fine. Glenn is a lead guitar player, is pretty good.
I just wish they got his. I was gonna say, I wish they got his brother Ben.
Ben. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, United Abominations. I gave this one. I think I gave it. Yeah, I put this number 10 on my list. So I think Sleepwalker is a good opener. I think Burnt Ice is a pretty good closer. There's a really pointless Atulamond re-recording cover with the Lacuna Coil singer that didn't need to happen. I feel like Glenn Drover, the more I think about it, there's some good solos on here from him. But I think one of my biggest issues with this album that there's too many mid-tempo songs, like especially in the middle. Like I like the title track United Abominations, but then you got Gears of War, Blessed Are the Dead, Play for Blood. It's just all steady heartbeat driven. And I'm like, guys, I need some speed. You start off with a banger with Sleepwalker, and then all of a sudden they're like, and then Washington is next, and it's just but it's weird because
Megadeth is known for being like a cocaine fueled speed machine.
Yes. And the opener and the closer are good, but it's just a really weird middle section it's not bad at all. It's not really bad. There's some really good parts in some of the songs. Even the worst songs on here aren't even bad. I would just say the two Le Mans cover is just the most pointless thing. Like they didn't need to do that. No, they did not need to do that. Okay, guys.
I was
that didn't need
when
to happen.
I saw that.
I was like, and I don't even hate this song. I don't mind. I'm not like wild on it. I flip-flopped on that song over the years, but where I'm at today, it's just kind of for me. But it did not need to be recorded. And some people where I'm at the time are complaining, how'd they get Italian singer for French songwriter? I don't give a fuck about that shit. The real question would be asking is, why is this song being re-recorded, period?
And I don't always hate it when a band kind of covers one of their own songs that kind of didn't quite hit right when it first came out.
But that song was a big example. It was already big for them at the time. But go on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the original, but even a song like Judas Priest, "Fight for Your Life," and then re-recording it to "Rock Hard, Ride Free," it went from a subpar song to one of their best. So that I'm willing to accept. But this one was just like, I already wasn't a fan of the original, and you didn't improve it any. So, again, why was this on here?
So what would you give it for your ranking, Pope?
I think I'm right there with you on this one. I think this is my number 10.
We finally have one that we're same on.
Well,
wow.
I hate being the contrarian here, but I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna put it at number 7. It really starts to feel like Megadeth gets back to form for me, and I think it's because I hate so much else prior to this album, or not. I don't like a lot of what else is on some of these other albums.
You said 8?
United. No, 7. 7.
Oh, 7. Sorry, I'm double checking because I'm writing this 10, 7, and 10. Go on.
I pretty much hate everything 9 to 16. Okay, with an exception of some good stuff in there that I'll say, hey, it's not bad. But everything from 9 to 16, I'm just not big on. And I definitely think United is more coherent than System is.
Mm-hmm.
It has more of a real Megadeth feel where it's like this doesn't feel like Risk or Euthanasia. This just feels like old Megadeth that can't get fast, right? It's like an old guy needing Viagra. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
still got it in some
Yeah.
ways, but it takes a lot for him to get it. That's what this begins to feel like for Megadeth. So it's a return to form, but it needs a lot to get there. But it's solid in its merits, so it's a 7.
Okay, you were actually shockingly really generous on that. I would definitely not go that high. I like that they did a tour with Black Sabbath, and for that tour, obviously that was the Ronnie James Dio fronted version that I'm not going to refer to under H&H. We're going to call them Black Sabbath here. They did do a tour. It was them and Megadeth that did a tour together. That was cool. So the touring around this album was, I guess you could say, fairly successful. I think it was the only album Glenn Drover did with the band. His brother Sean stuck around with them for another 3 more albums after. But we're going to go into, I guess, now we can go into some of the more acclaimed territory. The second album of the long-standing lineup of Mustaine, Ellefson, Friedman, and Mr. Nick Menza. So, guys, we're going to get into, I guess you could say, classic territory with a countdown to extinction. Okay, let's get it up once more. So for me, countdown to extinction, I'm going to go with number 4 for me. This is obviously Megadeth's response to the Black Album. There's no denying that. If you deny that, you're lying. You're just straight up lying. I don't care if you're Megadeth's biggest fan. You're lying. And maybe if you acknowledge that, that's great. But I gonna give this one number 4 for me. I love this album. It has great riffs. It's memorable. You can argue that a lot of stuff. This was, almost the litmus test of the shit that became shit after. Okay, great, fine. Do I care? No. About how bad those albums are? Yes, but in terms of this album is on its own merits, no, because I'm judging this album on its own merits. It's one of the rare albums where I love the single, which is aka the hit. Usually hits are always like a deal breaker for me, but Symphony of Destruction is one of the greatest hits ever. A hit that's worth taking note of. It's one of the few songs too. If you watch the Live in Buenos Aires in Argentina album, the crowd is not just singing the lyrics to the song, they're singing the guitar riff to the song.
Yeah,
South America, like Latin America, are huge on Megadeth. Like Megadeth play in arenas and stadiums in a lot of these other countries. Megadeth are huge. They've always been decently, they kind of gone up and down in the States from arenas to not arenas, but bigger venues. But in like South America, they've always stayed the course high. Whether they had good albums or bad, they've always maintained a lot more of a loyal fan base. But songs like these just hit so much different in front of those crowds. Ashes in Your Mouth, the closer, is one of my favorite Megadeth songs, period. Such a damn good song. Oh, it's so good. This Was My Life is good. Oh, man. Foreclosure of a Dream, Skin on My Teeth. And, of course, the song and music video for Sweating Bullets. Oh, man. So good. I go back to this album. I actually, if you had asked Teenage Nick, I probably would put this on like 7 or 8 or 9. But throughout the years, I have gelled with this album more and more, which I think is a good sign for me. I don't have nostalgia attached to this one. It's just the time working its magic as I gotten older with this album. So yeah, this one gets a really strong endorsement of number 4 from yours truly. What about you, Disciple?
Let's defer to Pope.
All right. Well, this one's my number 7. Like
7.
it's
Okay.
It's right. It's I'm not a huge fan. I think a lot of it is because Symphony of Destruction gets overplayed on the radio all the time, and I'm sick of hearing it.
It does. I'm sure it does. I wouldn't know, but I believe you.
Song. So, it's overplayed for a reason. It's really good. and I'm not a huge as big a fan of a lot of the rest of this record, but it also has my favorite Megadeth song of all time on it, being High Speed Dirt. So, you know, kind of balances out, just above average. I
That's
dig
what
it. I
she
own
said.
it. Yeah, it's above average. So right above the middle ground for me. And I have the album. I listen to it regularly. It's one of those. I do come back to it, just not as much as their early stuff.
Okay. All right, disciple, share us your misery now.
Okay, well, let me start off with the good because there is some really good to this album. High
Don't
Speed
beat
Dirt.
around the bush.
No. I'm gonna take my time. I'm formulating my punchline here. High Speed Dirt is probably my favorite Megadeth song, one of my favorite metal songs of all time. Awesome. Skin on my teeth. Awesome. Sweating Bullets, however, I hate that song more than I hate death itself.
That
The
song's amazing.
whole thing with Dave Mustaine talking to himself, like gritting his teeth.
Paranoia.
It is so bad. It is so bad. This album is the Indian food that gives you diarrhea. It is the Indian food that has you spewing at both ends. This album is number 16 for me.
That is poser language.
This is the album.
Poser language.
This is the
I knew it.
That started
That's
everything.
poser language. The fact that if you put this album lower, but to put it there when you rank Risk and Super Collider. If any metalhead calls you a poser in person, I will say, you know what? I'm not gonna even fight it. Not gonna even fight it.
No, because I'm going to tell you, because here's my reasoning for this. This precedes probably one of the greatest metal albums of all time in Rust in Peace, and this is your follow-up. This is your follow-up. This is like taking a girl out on a wonderful date. It is the perfect date. You get to her room, and what do you go? Oh, hey, do you like to collect Legos? That's what this album is. It is an absolute
She collects
turd.
Legos. She does collect Legos. My girls like Legos.
Okay, but you get my point. This album it's the perfect setup for a joke with a bad punchline. This is why I hate this album. And it has its merits. And I may not hate it as much if what preceded it wasn't so bad. If this was a standalone album, I would
nothing
probably
to do with it. That makes no sense to judge the album for something else. At least hate it on its own merit.
Because he chased. See, Mars Monkey hit it right on the head. You get her to her room, and then you want to play Uno with her, right?
So
it doesn't follow up on what was great.
You want to know why? They were following up where Metallica was going. Because they went from the wild time changes on Injustice for All straight to the Black Album. That was a bait and switch too. They're both bait and switches.
But here's
if
the
we're
thing,
consistent here.
If Symphony of Destruction is not successful, you don't get Euthanasia, which you wrongly like, and then you don't get Risk, which you rightfully hate.
I don't like Euthanasia. I don't like Euthanasia. I ranked that low. I was at number 12.
Some songs I like on it. You were still defending it.
Of course. Reckoning Day is a great opener. It's a great opener.
Again, you know what it is? No. I'm a Megadeth purist. I am the first 4 albums, soul-heartedly, pure and true. And this is such a bad follow-up. Look, I'm an Alice Cooper fan. You know how many times he changes up his music? It's like every freaking album, he's doing something new. And a lot of it is pretty bad. But he also comes out with some bangers. This album, like I said, has its bangers, but it stays in that lull of just, okay, you are trying to repeat Countdown. You are Megadeth.
No, he wasn't trying to repeat Countdown. He was just getting more water. This was of the hard rock albums, this is the most metalized one of the bunch. It was just getting more hard rock as it went on.
I would agree with you on that.
Because I'm right.
That I would say that Risk and Euthanasia are worse, but at least Euthanasia is coherently bad, is consistently bad. right? Risk is consistently bad. This song teases me with the greatness of Rust in Peace and then gives me sweating bullets.
I'd argue it doesn't tease any greatness of Rust in Peace. I feel like it teases trying to go in the hard rock direction and try and be its own thing with a great album. It was
What I'm
obviously
saying, High Speed Dirt is a high flying metal song.
that's an
That's
outlier on this album. And even then, that's not even their best song. It's a great song, but it's not even their best song on the album.
See, and that's why that's why I hate this album, because I would argue that, you know, I'll take back what I said about Rust, about High Speed Dirt. That album, that song belongs on So Far So Good, So What. It really would just fit in nicely there. It didn't make that album, and again, that's why I hate this album. It's more of it's I hate it on principle rather than hating it on merit. Call me a poser.
That doesn't make any sense. I'll let you have it, but that don't make no sense.
I know I'm not going to be popular for that, but I will stand by that opinion and I will die by that opinion.
I will let you fall on that sword. I will absolutely not do anything. That is the DEI sword right there. All right, where I had the cover here. Bear with me here, dudes. I gotta see what's going on. Go ahead and chat. I'll be quick.
No, I mean, like, I can see what you're saying, Disciple. Like, you could see where it was going into Euthanasia and Rust, but the high points on this album more than sell it for me.
I could agree. I would. The songs that I don't like on this album, I would probably like if we don't get Euthanasia and Risk.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can see where you're saying that, and I think again, it also falls prey to, like you were saying, being the follow-up to an absolute masterpiece like Rust in Peace.
And like, is Symphony of Destruction bad? No. Am I probably going to be banging my head when we see it live? Oh, probably, because
God, yeah.
Hey, sometimes you hear a song live and you like it, but it's just because that's the song all the normie Megadeth fans love. When Megadeth has got so much far better than the previous four.
Well, of course, they have better songs than Symphony as well. But is it one of the rare songs that's a hit that actually works? Hell yeah, it does.
And I think it would work. It has like a lot to me. Again, I'm going to reference Alice Cooper, since Alice Cooper and Megadeth can fall in the same line. It's why, like, I love the song Poison, but it always gets lowered on my list just because that's the song everybody likes.
So what does other people have to like it do with here? Like, it's one thing if you say you like, I love Breaking the Law. I don't want to hear it ever again, but I'm not going to rate the album lower that's on just because it's overplayed.
No, but the problem is it's like the dad wearing the AC/DC shirt, the divorced dad with the AC/DC shirt. Is AC/DC inherently a bad band? Not at all. In fact, you would argue AC/DC is probably one of the better rock bands to ever exist. But for the fact that ever acts like that's the only rock and roll band to ever exist, or the greatest rock and roll band to ever exist, is why I don't really get into them, because I just don't want to look like I have generic opinion. Maybe that's ego on my part, probably is. But
AC/DC
it's more of,
actually are kick ass. The singles are the least good of their songs. I like a lot of their hits, but they're far from the best representation of the band.
And I would agree to that.
Far from it. It's not even fair to AC/DC. Not fair to them.
Well, and that's my point with Symphony of Destruction, is that all the normies like it. And I'm like, guys, it's okay, right? It's not the worst thing that Megadeth did. It's not the best thing.
It's not bad at all. Be real here. Symphony of Destruction's a banger.
Again, a lot of it's spite and principle. It's like me. It's like Thomas Massey.
So you're factoring emotion into it. Emotion.
But look, at least I provide a reason. Maybe not a good reason, but I'm giving you a reason.
Emotion's emotion. Reason. It's an emotional reason. All right. If we don't stop now, we'll argue for another hour. All right. Endgame. This is the 12th album. This is the last one with their second bassist James LaMenza before Ellison rejoined. This was 2009, and you can definitely tell this is where things start to really get a lot of steam picks up on this album. The opener, This Day We Fight, actually it's the second track, But you get the point. The 1-2 punch chaos of dialectic chaos, This Day We Fight, is freaking awesome. There's a more mid-tempo 44 minutes, which is pretty good too, because even though it's on a slower tempo, it's got a heaviness to it that works really well. There's definitely some really great smashing solos from Chris Broderick. This was his first album with the band, Chris Broderick, who is also in Jag Panzer, which, once again, Pope will be seeing Jag Panzer. I can't wait. Yeah. Unfortunately, Chris Broderick's not in the band these days, but this was a big deal to get the guitarist from Jag Panzer. But Chris Broderick absolutely crushes it and stuff. Head Crusher's a killer song. 1320 is a fun song. The How the Story Ends is a good song that kind of leads into the hard rock sensibilities, while still being primarily Megadeth. I'm going to go with number 9 for Endgame. The only thing that's, I guess, really brought it down for me through time is just some of the albums that came out after kind of were better. That's it. I would have ranked this higher, probably around 2009, but there's some stuff on that just kind of eclipsed it for me. But that's where I'm at with number 9. Where are you at, Disciple, with Endgame?
Me? Put it at number 6 for me, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, holy crud.
Oof.
I want to hear that.
Again, I know my takes are out here, but when I'm going through Megadeth and I go to the modern era, right? Again, we touched base on The System Has Failed, United Abominations. This is the one I listen to and I'm like, oh, they're back. It's got some heavy Judas Priestness to it. It's got some almost Motorhead like feel to it, and it's got all the correct things that Megadeth does. There's some duds on this, but songs like 1320 just absolutely killer.
It's fun. It's a fun song, but it works for the fun.
And that's what I'm saying. This album isn't mopey. This album isn't right. It's not as much as Dave Mustaine's, which is weird because the breakup stuff with Dave Mustaine is so weird because he's been married to the same woman for so long. Meatloaf's daughter, I believe. Right. So it's like, I don't get it with all the, Armageddon kind of World War III, everyone being locked up in concentration camps music, right? In between that is so much good stuff on this album. And it's such a breath of like fresh air. It still kind of has that United Abominations where they're like, okay, this is old Megadeth. This is them old. But that's why I give this album a lot of mercy. It's why I even give United Abominations mercy, is because it's like, okay, if they were younger and did this album, if they did this album instead of the crap they did like Euthanasia and Risk, this album would be so stinking good. So that's why it's number 6 for me.
Okay, so we got a 9 and a 6. Pope, where are you at with Endgame?
And as usual, I'm right in the middle. This is my number 8.
Wow.
It's like this is the point, I think, when I was listening back through their whole thing, I'm like Disciple said, like, okay, these guys are back now. Like, they understand the assignment and are working on it. So like this was a really good treat to have back in 09, because I didn't listen to this album when it first came out. I was deployed at the time, but when I did finally hear it, I was like, oh, okay, Megadeth's back. Okay, this is, not their best work, but I like it.
Yeah, no, I liked it too. My only, and this has nothing to do with the album, but more so the touring around it. The touring for the album got cut short because they ended up doing a nostalgia tour for Rust in Peace, which was at the time the 20-year anniversary of it. And David Ellison had just rejoined the band. So of course, they had to, get the band together with half the lineup on top of 20-year anniversary. Then they did the tour with Slayer, and Slayer was on 20 years of Seasons in the Abyss. So Slayer and Megadeth, their first time touring together in also almost 20 years as well, because they did Clash of the Titans together in 91. And they did 2 tours, one with Anthrax as the opener and the other with Testament as an opener. I went to the one with Testament because that's the one that came to Chicago at the UIC Pavilion. And it was cool to have Rust in Peace front to back live. But obviously, because they did that album and they're sharing a headlining slot, they were only able to play one new song from Endgame, which was Head Crusher, which was cool. They only did one proper US tour where they relied heavily on songs from Endgame, and that was the US tour that preceded it that came to Milwaukee. So, and I wasn't able to go to that one, and I remember wanting to go but not being able to. So it was like, I guess the one that got away from me. Oh, memories. Well, dudes, are you ready for this next one?
My body is
I
ready.
think you guys know what's coming next. Have you caught on to the pattern of what I've been doing? Or have you not? Okay. I will unveil it at the end, but we're going to go to a Dynamite album here.
Oh, yes.
One of the most iconic metal covers of all time. Instantly recognizable. Ooh, man. And yes, I as I said earlier, foreshadowing, I caught the 20-year anniversary tour to this album where they play this album front to back live. Rust
Hell
in
yeah.
Peace. Now, this is the first album with the longest lineup: Mustaine, Ellison, Friedman, Menza. Obviously, you have one of the greatest openers in any album of all time ever with Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. The Punishment Due part is a little bit about the Punisher in the second half of the song. Marty Friedman's solos are insane, like next level. Still to this day, is shit that guitar players wish that they could play. If you notice when bands cover Megadeth, this is one of those albums where a lot of them don't cover much stuff from this album because a lot of this shit on here is on another level of insanity.
Yeah, we can't get anywhere close to it.
This album is not made by humans.
This is next level.
Tornado of Souls, that solo off between Mustaine and Marty Friedman's insane. The lyrical content was the perfect mixture of like Doomsday mixed with politics.
Hangar 18.
Man. Hangar 18.
Yeah, the three solos on Hangar 18.
Gang vocals on Take No Prisoners. Take no shit. Oh man. And then the closing song, Rust in Peace, Polaris. What a fucking ass kicker of an album. Yeah, Mars, they wrote this album in a few weeks. They must have been like, I don't know, like a high in a literal and figurative sorts. We're like, you know what? We got to be on crunch time. Let's just bang this album out, see what comes out. And somehow this is the end result. And it's insane what these guys put out on this album. A lot of my guitar playing buddies like, yeah, dude, you can maybe play a little bit of some of the intros to these songs, but once he gets into like the really crazy parts, forget about it. I've met some pretty good guitar players, but they're like, what Mustaine and Friedman do on this album is just, it's transcendent. It's straight up transcendent. It's a masterpiece. It's a human accomplishment. And for my human accomplishment, this album gets a high endorsement at number 2 on my rankings. Where are you at, Pope?
I mean, I don't think it's a secret to anyone who's watched my content for more than 5 minutes. This is my number 1 from them, far and away. Like, this is every album, every song on this record absolutely fucking slays. My favorite song on this record is kind of an unusual one, Lucretia.
Oh, great. I love
it. It has a great fucking rhythm to it. I love it. But like you say, I mean, I'm a guitar player, and we will not go anywhere near this record because it's not possible to accomplish that and make it sound decent. So we just leave this one alone. Like, I might try to get some stuff off of Peace Cells, like the title track, or maybe High Speed Dirt. This one, I don't even try. I'm nowhere near that good yet.
Five Magics, yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I say, everything on this album is fucking killer.
It's seriously, there's something that what they captured on this album is insane. It really, truly is insane what they captured.
It's in my top 10 metal records of all time. Like, this is up there with Your Heaven and Hell, Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. Like, it's in that category.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I strongly agree. Oh. All right, Disciple, where are you at? What's your ranking on this one? And whatever your thoughts are.
Numero uno.
Really? So 1 and 1.
1 and 1. And you know what? This is not just number 1 for Megadeth. This is probably a top 10 metal album ever. Period. There is I will go out and say it. Painkiller is probably the best metal album of the 90s. I think that is a safe assessment.
Okay.
This will be, I mean, there are some, right? Motorhead has some good stuff and Sax has some good stuff, but man, I don't know. I don't know what else could be number 2 besides this. Maybe the Headless Children, because I believe that came out in the 90s too. Not the Headless Children, the Crimson Idol. But yeah, I love this album so much. The opening, like, I can't drive when I listen to this song because I will be headbanging so hard to Tornado of Souls. Yeah, number 1. I cannot sing this out. I cannot praise this album enough.
And especially they give it to you right from the outset with, starting off with Holy Wars and then right into Hangar 18. They just give it to you with both barrels.
Punch. What a 1-2 punch of the two. It really.
It's not just that. It's the 1-2 punch of Holy Wars. That opening kind of
the punishment
guitar riff,
part.
and then all of a sudden, once everything. But I'm talking about the opening guitar, just the opening guitar itself. That opening guitar, killer, and then when everyone else kicks in, and that guitar just, it's like a race car, right? It's going 0 to 100, then all of a sudden just hits these afterburners and goes warp speed. Ugh.
And then when they transition into that brutal bone crunching second half, it's just glorious.
Oh, and then it just it turns to Hangar 18 to Take No Prisoners to 5 Magics. It just, this album cannot work. If you're going to be a thrash band, this is the album. This and Years of Decay are the 2 albums that you seriously need to look at if you were going to be a thrash band. Holy cow. I get so excited talking about this one.
Yeah, that's good. Your energy is contagious from it. Jonathan 93 Mega says you can tell an album's attitude. This album cover really is something
it's God
special.
tier.
It's really special. You look at that cover, you cannot mistake that shit from miles away. It's one of those things where you just know it. You just know it.
I listen. I love that album cover. It's not my favorite Megadeth album cover, and it's not even my second favorite Megadeth album cover.
Okay.
But boy, do I love that album cover. And by the way,
it's killer. That's
not saying I don't love it, because there are 3 Megadeth albums that are just ungodly with how great they are. And they're basically tied, but this would be the 3rd favorite Megadeth album cover.
Okay. Well, dudes, shall we go to the next album?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. All right, let's do that. Okay. Let's do that. Here we go. Okay. 13, the first album with David Ellefson back in the band. And man, I was at the tour for this album, and this album, this is such a weird album because there's no truly great song at all. There's some pretty good stuff, and there's really just nothing really polarizingly bad. It's the biggest album. It kind of reminds me, and just go with me here. I need you guys to go with me on this, all right? This will all make sense. This album reminds me of the Joe Biden presidency. And you're thinking, what the hell does he mean by that? There's that time where he was in a room full with a bunch of, let's just say, famous other Democratic politicians. And everyone was talking to each other, but no one wanted to talk to Joe. I see a room full of Megadeth album covers all interacting with each other. No one wants to talk to 13. 13 is the Joe Biden album. It's just there existing and breathing.
And if you look from, the image of Vic kind of looks like Joe Biden from behind a little bit.
Oh!
You're not wrong.
Holy God, I'm never going to look at this cover that same way again. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, dude.
Well, congratulations, Disciple. You successfully scarred Nick for the episode.
Oh, no,
I
he
love
didn't
it.
scar me. That's whole. Oh, it is
It's
the
Joe Biden
Biden.
entering his mind.
It really does. Seriously, I listen up. It just because once again, you're in a room full of all these people, and no one cares that Joe's there, and it's just that album. Like it had no engagement. It felt like an album of apathy. It was like, okay, now that we got Elson back in the band, we're gonna try to get a little bit more hard rock again, but we can't be as hard rock as like Euthanasia. We still gotta have a more Metallica. So it was like a more metallic version of their '90s stuff. And it just doesn't work. It is the most apathetic album ever. And very oddly, funnily enough, I rank 13. You ready for it? At 13.
Nick, me too.
No, seriously?
Yeah, just because it's 13, I'm gonna do that.
See,
But
I'm not afraid to move if I had to. I did because it was just honest to goodness. Go on.
I agree
take
with
it from
you.
here,
It is just,
Disciple.
it's what I like to call unbridled, unrestrained meh. Like, it's not bad. It's like, okay, not bad. And it's just like, okay, where are you going with this, Dave? Like, it's good, but it's just like, okay, I heard this before. Like, what are we doing? We're not doing anything new, but we're not doing anything bad. We're not doing anything great. It's just like, it's like you said. It's there and no one wants to talk to it.
It really is. And that's the thing. There's nothing bad about it, but there's also nothing great. It's just
It's better than
exists.
Super.
It fills up. It fills a void. It's there. It's just there. I remember there's no conversation on stuff. As bad as Super Collider was, as bad as Risk was, there was conversation. There was talk on Endgame. There was talk around Dystopia and the sick, the dying. 13, it was fucking tumbleweed.
Yeah, it's just, to me, like, that's how exactly I feel. It's just like, if I want something like this, I'll reach for, United, or I'll reach for Endgame, right? And if there's word, like, it's so meh, you can't even. It doesn't even get ranked bad properly.
Okay, well, Pope, where are you at with 13?
Well, I'm going to make it for the hat trick. This is my 13th album, too.
Now, did you do that intentionally, or was that by chance?
No, this is right where it belongs. It's like, it's not as bad as their worst, but it's also not great either.
No,
so, like, it's just kind of here.
Yeah. See, don't you like feel like, wow, I'm listening to this, and I feel it feels like it reminds me. It's a great reminder of when you truly know you're over. Let's just say like a really deranged ex-girlfriend, or even a call or text message from her, or even saying her in person post breakup makes you feel nothing. This is the apathy stage of the albums. It really is. It's the most. I don't give a fuck at all. I feel I don't even hate you. I just don't feel a thing.
Like that's I think the worst insult to this record is, like, it doesn't make you feel anything, which for any musical piece is a death sentence.
Yeah. It was one of those things where you could say it was an album.
It is one of the albums of all time.
Yeah. It is an album of all time. Oh man. Well, guys, we got a few more.
Oh, my favorite album cover of Megadeth's.
It's a great cover.
So it goes pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Hard.
And I really love if anyone in the chat may know, or future video, there's this game out there that I've been really loving called Arc Raiders, and this looks like it would be in the game. This particular, like, the way Vic is dressed, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, I love that album cover.
No, it's a fantastic cover. Marcy says it's number 2. Cool. Hey, for me, this gets a number 5. This is a great album. It's the only one, unfortunately, with Jeff Young and Chuck Beeler, who were great players. Don't ask me about the Sex Pistols cover. I'm not a Sex Pistols guy. Yes, I'm aware of Johnny Rotten being super cool and authentically punk, which I respect about him, but that's a skin in the game I just never care to have. But a lot of the other songs on this record I really love. I mean, Set the World Afire is insane. In My Darkest Hour is a great power ballad. But then there's the 1-2 closing punch of Liar and Hook and Mouth. And those songs are just absolutely woo! Seriously, I want to go like Ric Flair wooing. Oh, here you go. You Hook and Mouth. Like, yeah. Those last two songs are just, man. The album starts out really great, but it goes into to greatness of all time towards the last two songs for me. So it's going to be, I feel like the Sex Pistols cover, Anarchy in the UK, kind of breaks it down for me. I feel like it's only sin, if I wouldn't even call it sin. I guess you could just say it's just, there's just other albums I just happen to enjoy more. But still, number 5 out of 16 albums is still something to be very damn proud of. So, Disciple.
Number 2. It's number 2 all the way for me.
Okay, so number 2.
I love this album. I love everything about it. It just can't eclipse Rust in Peace, and that's the only reason it's not number 1, because it's Rust in Peace exists.
Okay.
Yep, and that's I love this album.
Okay, cool. Pope.
This is my number 3.
Oh.
I have one other album that I like more than it, but overall, fantastic record. Like, this is their classic period. This is a follow-up to their first album, and you know what? Their second time at bat, they fucking nailed it.
They did. This album, I feels like this album, it's well received by Megadeth fans, like true Megadeth fans, but it still feels like it's nowhere as well received to me as a lot of the other albums as it should be. And that for me really bums me out, because I feel like this album should be loved even more. I feel like it truly is up there with the best of the best. And somehow, like, it gets discussion, but not to the degree that it should. But luckily, it has its fans, and there's fans who are into it, who are loud about it. But guys, we got one more horrific album to get through.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Everything has led up to this moment. I remember where I was in my life when this album came out. Oh boy, guys, this is, oh man, I can't, we're actually going there. Oh, dude, going back to it was hard. I gotta say, going back to this album, guys. Oh, guys, we really got to do this, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Let's just be quick and just put our numbers for this one.
Oh,
Super Collider. The Altar of Madness. I love Risk. I am so sorry to hear that. That was my number 15, was it? Where did I put Risk at here? 16 for me. But okay, I'm gonna say so. By the way, great to see you, bud. For me, I'm gonna put Super Collider at number 15 for me. Super Collider sucks. I remember when this album was coming out and hearing the title track and laughing at how bad this was. I used to make fun of this song. I did memes about this on Facebook back in the day. And I remember the nickname going around Chicago was Pooper Collider for this album. I thought that was a great, funny name, Pooper Collider, for it. Just like a Super Collider. I was like,
God.
Oh, man. What a horrific album, then. And, you know, King Baker is like the album 13. It's just there. It's just there. And then you hear songs like Beginning of Sorrow, The Blackest Crow, but there's Forget to Remember, and you're like, oh, Wow. This is hard to get through. Dance in the Rain, I guess you could say, is the most tolerable song, but even then, yeah, David Draymond from Disturbed, he doesn't save the song, but it's just, oh, I feel like I feel like Finkel and Einhorn and Ace Ventura when I heard this album. I feel like I just need to take a toilet plunger to my face. And I'm still recovering from this album to this very day. Well, I went back to it. It was hard. It was tough to go back to this album. I was like, what am I doing in my life? I kind of like my life. I don't want to do horrible, harmful things to myself, but here I am doing them. So yeah, number 15, Pope.
This one is my number 16. This is the worst thing I've ever done. Especially because when this album came out, I was at a really bad point in my life, and this just made it infinitely worse having listened to it. The only song that redeems it in slightly is Cold Sweat, and that's because it's a Thin Lizzy cover, and I really dig that version. So, this is one of those albums I played exactly once, never bought, and have never listened to it again until we went to review this. And having to listen to that song again made me like the show a little bit less.
Yeah, you guys will hate where I put it at number 12. That's not a it's
right.
It's only because I put everything else that was bad before it, and I am being Thomas Massey and putting Countdown at 16. If I was being a good boy and voting the right way, I would have put Countdown at 12 and this at 16, or maybe I would have put this at 15 or 14. I'm not defending this album. I'm just being a prick.
Putting it that high is a defense of this album.
I know, but I'm being a prick for the sake of being a prick at this point, okay?
Okay, Kingmaker's a Children of the Grave ripoff. I would make the argument Danzig's Am I Demon is a Children of the Grave ripoff. I love
you know
Am
what?
I
No,
Demon
Alter
from
is
Danzig.
right, though.
But
what I did, that's what I hated about this album, too. It's that I'm like, where did I hear this before? Oh, wait a minute. I heard this before on Black Sabbath. Again, it suffered to me. It has the same problem 13 has, where it's just like, you're not doing anything new, and you're doing it really badly. I agree. It's bad. And maybe to make you guys happy, I know I can't go backsies, but when we revisit Megadeth...
Now I'm going to be mad if you go back. Don't.
But yeah, I know. I had to put it at 12. I wish I could have put it lower, but I already made my decisions.
Damn right you did. Okay. Well, gents, we got past.
See, Mars is right. He understands. I have to stand on my principles of my hate for Countdown.
You've already gone. Yeah, you're already down. You're already in the toilet. You might as well. Just
oh, come on, though. I
blood.
redeemed myself with Rust in Peace.
Sort of.
And you
now I'm gonna be too. Thomas Massey
this is this is my first real deep dive of Megadeth, so this is kind of going into it raw a little bit.
Oh, I know you learned about going in raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get into Peace Sells, but Who's Buying with an incredible cover from Ed Repka. Once again, another iconic, memorable cover. This one for me is number 1. Obviously, this album had the last one with Gar Samuelson on the drums, and second to last technically with Chris Poland. This album to me is one of my holy grails of all metal albums of all time ever. I know there's a lot. I know some people who are Rust in Peace number 1. I know some people who are at Peace Sells number 1. I'm in the Peace Sells camp, though I won't argue with people who would put Rust as number 1. I get it. That's a fair argument. I wholeheartedly respect it. But for me, when I hear songs like The Conjuring, when I hear the closing track, My Last Words, or the creepy melody in Good Morning Black Friday, and of course, Wake Up Dead is one of the most memorable openers of all time. Bow, 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 bow. The lyrics are very dark, like because Dave Mustaine was like fucking with like black magic and shit. This is way before he became a born again Christian. He was on a really dark, drugged out path on this album, and of course he hits on some of the political stuff. He had the most memorable bass line note in metal with the opening in Peace Sells.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh man, it was obviously it's one of those things where you know it the second you heard it. It was just one of those freaking songs. But I love this album. Everything about it. Devil's Island. Oh, so good. So good. I am in love with this album. This album and I are like a marriage that works. And we will keep working together through our troubles together. I don't want to go out this album, and I think this album truly loves me back. And that's great.
Yeah.
He's dating a witch. That sounds like it checks out. Oh man, Mustaine in the 80s was another breed of human. He really was.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, number one. All right, Disciple.
Number 3 for me. It's
okay.
I mean, look, a lot of times when I say top 3, just assume that it's essentially tied. Think about like the scene in Cars where, you know, they're all 3 at the finish line and they're all basically there, but it's like one's just inched out the other. It's photo finish level for me for Rust in Peace. So Far So Good, So What, and Peace Sells. It's essentially photo finish, but the other ones edge this guy out just the tiniest bit. But I love this. This is a holy trinity of albums.
Okay.
It really is.
Pope.
And again, I'm smack dab in the middle of the two of you. This is my number 2.
Oh,
It's right up there with Rust in Peace, but I think the highlights on Rust just edge it out.
Okay.
And like, I love how cynical the fucking title is. The lyrics in this are dark and it's like hell. The title track is basically a Gen X anthem of basically, I do the bare minimum. Fuck off, leave me alone.
Yes. Oh man. Oh, I would have loved to have lived in California in '86 to see what was living around Dave Mustaine like.
I could never imagine being his neighbor.
I probably would hate him.
Right.
I probably would. Like, oh, that guy? Oh man. I just heard him party at 5 a.m. last night. Before I know it, I hear noise coming to my apartment and they broke the door down to my place.
Right.
For no reason. It would probably be like that. Yes, I love Dave's voice in this, Mars. I'm with you there, buddy. I am all by where you go. Because in those first 4 hours, there was a lot more on the much higher notes before he has a lower register from Countdown, and then a much lower register come the 21st century. Oh no, this album, this album and I are synonymous with each other. We truly are. We are a marriage. We will always be together. No matter how hard things get with me and Megadeth, Peace Sells and I, we are Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, man. We ain't letting go of each other. Hollywood could try to tear us apart. The mainstream media could try to tear us apart. But there's bonds that are truly sacred. And that's one of them. That is freaking one of them. Well, dudes, let's get into dystopia, okay? Let's get into dystopia. All right, okay. Let's get it up, okay? Oh, got it up successfully for you dudes. All right, so obviously at this point, last album with Elfson's second run in the band, Sean Drover out of the band. Hey, this is the first one. Kiko Loureiro from Angra in the band. Chris Adler from Lamb of God was the session drummer for this album. He did do some of the touring for this album. Now, regardless of how people feel about Lamb of God, that's a separate show. However, Chris Adler has always been an outspoken fan of Megadeth. And I always thought that was really cool that as big of a band was, he was always talking about, even out loud in interviews, saying, "Oh, who you prefer between Metallica and Megadeth?" Megadeth. Always. Megadeth, always. And I thought it was really cool and poetic. And he's one of the few guys to come out of his experience of being either an ex-member or ex-session player and still having a good relationship with Dave Mustaine afterwards. I think that has something to do with him seeming like he's the type of guy that has a bit of a backbone. Chris Adler is also a hell of a great drummer. It shows in this album. Now, it's definitely not a go-to album, but he is very instrumental in getting Megadeth on the right track again because they chose to do Super Collider. There's some songs on here, though, that are really killer. Post-American World is awesome. Lying in State is great. Post-American World, I mean, this is where the Saint starts getting into like the most red pill shit ever, and it's great. Kiko Loureiro, him and Dave play off each other well on guitar. There's some songs on here that are just kind of fine, like Bullet to the Brain. But Poisonous Shadows is killer. The Emperor is killer as well. The Threat is Real is good. But as far as rankings go, I'm going to put Dystopia at number 8 for me. It's a good album. I wouldn't call it a great album, though. There's some great songs surrounded by some fairly good songs here. So, yeah, Dystopia is 8 for me. What about you, Disciple? I said, what about you, Disciple? All right. He went somewhere. Pope,
I apologize.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I had to cough, muted it, forgot to mute.
All good.
It falls in the same category. It's just kind of like 13. I put it at number 9. It's just, it's better than a lot of the other stuff, but it doesn't move the needle for me.
Okay. Favorite track, least favorite track that drives you crazy? What's something that really stands out to you for better or worse, though?
You know, I do like the song Foreign Policy. I thought that was kind of good.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
It's not the one thing that I thought I came away with like, yeah. I really like
isn't that the cover? That's the Fear cover. That was on the bonus track edition of it. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's me being an idiot with Spotify. But yeah, that was like the one thing when I listened to it that stuck out for me. Maybe when I re-listened to it, it will more will stick out to me. But as of now, it just kind of was there for me.
Okay. Well, we got a 8 and a 9 and a Pope. What's your score, Pope?
This is my number 6. For some reason I know this record.
Hey, I respect that, man. I do know some people who hold this one in pretty high regard, and still to this day, like who still go all their way to listen. I even typed it in like randomly on Twitter or X to see if people actually even talk about it. People do. And once again, it's not the first thing that's going to come on my list to play, but at least I know the enthusiasm for it is genuine. It's not a recency bias. It's been 10 years since this album came out. I think actually to the literal day, I think it was January 22nd, 2016 is when this album came out. So I could respect its enthusiasm. I'm going to look up the date on this one, but I respect that, Pope. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit.
No, I mean, this is a very mature album in terms of lyrical content. Like you say, there's a lot of really red-pilled stuff in here. And Dave has always been kind of that way. He's very much in the metalhead genre of the kind of like the libertarian conservative camp.
Yeah, he's always been to me like somewhere. He was like to me. He was always the ultimate centrist. He's never afraid to call it the right or the left. If you even look at the cover, The System Has Failed, he has Bush and Clinton on the cover.
Yeah, and you know he's always kind of been that way, and I think he's just gotten more strident in that as he gets older. And that and Dave's very much the kind of personality that the more people try to tell him or bully him off of a position, the harder he'll dig in.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that element to it. Like, Lying in State was a really good one for me. Post-American World was an interesting one. The Emperor is really good. Like, this one's one of those, like, I put it right up there with Countdown, where like this is when they're on their back upswing. It's like, okay, these guys are back
again. They were back again. Right.
Yeah, I mean, they might have tripped over their dick a little bit with Super Collider, but then they came back.
Oh, too good. Too good. Oh, man. I love it. Okay, dudes. Let's bring it down here. We got 2 more albums to get into, and that's gonna be a wrap for the night. So okay, let's get it up. Okay, 2 more time. What's up, 70? Say you can't make it tonight. I'm a bit underway. It's okay, man. You got life going on. Okay, you owe me no apologies, homie. No apologies. Okay. Okay, the debut album, Killing is My Business, and Business is Good. This is the one that started it all. And an album that's been long out of print for a long time. And I actually finally was able to score a OG copy of it recently in its original form. Right here, look, you can look at that sticker, looks like it's from the 80s.
Oh,
The shrink wrap is torn apart at the bottom. You see there's some wiped up sticker from this is from 40 years ago. Go ahead and look at that UPC code. See if I can get shine here. Yeah. This is the original copy. I scored it recently. I'm gonna take it out of shrink wrap because this thing should not be contained in here. But yeah, this album is incredible. And obviously you can see the skeleton of what becomes the iconic logo before it becomes what we know going forward. This album for me, I actually give it a number 3 for me on this album. It to me is just a front to back insane banger of an album. His voice is, you could tell the dude was on so much drugs with this album. And it's easy to say, oh, Mechanics. It's like, yes, Mechanics is cool, but come on. The title track, bro, The Skull Beneath the Skin, Chosen Ones, Looking Down the Cross. My goodness. Of course, those are Rattlehead. These songs are insane. And
yeah.
the production is crap, but that was the charm of this album. Was that it was all about the energy. There was a little bit more of a punkier vibe because of how raw the production was. I love this album. It to me is one of the best albums of their career. Not an all-timer, but it's a really strong album. I love this one. It's number 3 for me. Everyone, you can't say you're a Megadeth fan and not have this album on your list. I just think you're a fed at this point. Where are you at, Disciple?
I'm at number 4. I think, it's compared to some of the other stuff with especially the 3 that, come after this, it kind of falls behind, but it's a heck of a debut album. Like, debut album, good debut albums can be, few and far in between. And to have one like this, where, sure, it's not the best debut album that any band has ever done.
But it's a damn great debut album.
Well, I agree with that. It's no, to me, it doesn't hold up there with like the first Ramones album, the first Motorhead album, the first Striper album, where these are just albums that just come out hard and are just incredible, right?
I'll say I thought this one was. Go on.
I don't disagree. I think like I said, it's a very, very good debut album. And again, it's part of their best series of albums. To me, it has some parts that I'm not crazy about. But yeah, I love this album. And you could tell where Megadeth, they came in with intent and they stated their purpose. You got the message. Does it, in my opinion, like I said, it has some like just meh spots to it. But it's message received, and I know what you're here to do. And with the next 3 albums, they absolutely accomplish what they set out to do. So it's a very good mission statement album.
Okay, so we got 3 and a 4. Where are you at, Pope, with this one?
This is my number 4. Like Disciple said, it's not quite as good as the 3 that follow it, but it's still a hell of a debut. And like you guys are saying, this was more of a statement of intent than anything. And Dave's proof that he could be something without the guys from Metallica. And well, quite honestly, he proved that Metallica was lesser without him. And like, I love the attitude on this record. Like, these guys were not trying to ape Metallica, even though Mechanics is the same riff as Four Horsemen. Well, that's because Metallica stole it. After agreeing not to use any of his riffs when they kicked him out of the band. And I love the attitude that they came in with of there is no preamble, there is no beating around the bush with this. They just slapped their junk out on the table and then dared the world to do something about it. And for that reason alone, like this absolutely belongs in everyone's collection. Like I love the fact that you managed to find an original pressing of it. That must hold a
it was not cheap. It was not cheap. I'm not gonna tell you guys how much I spent for it. I even held off on getting it. I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm meant to get this. I'll let someone else get it.
But that is a relic of
I should have had metal history in my hands.
That belongs in the collection in a place of honor, right up there with like my physical copy of Power Metal.
Dude, wow!
I managed to luck out and get all 4 of the first 4 records.
That's incredible.
So I have them. But no, this album is just fantastic. And this was when the world kind of figured out that, okay, these boys are already onto something. Let's see how they follow it up. And fortunately, what we got so far so good. So what?
Okay. Well, last one, guys. Okay. Let's go out with the bang. A huge bang. Okay. Let's get this one up. I thought I had it up. It turns out I didn't. So now I got to get it up again for you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
One last chance.
It's common when you get to our age.
There, yeah. All right. Last one here. The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. The last album that came out 4 years ago. The first one with Dirk Verburen on the drums. The dude's a powerhouse player. Steve DiGiorgio was the session bassist on his own since Ellison left and had a big falling out with Mustaine the second go round. And Steve DiGiorgio has done 800 other albums. He's been playing with Testament now for the last a decade and a half or close to that now. He's done albums for Sadus. He's done albums for Death. But this, he filled in for this Steve DiGiorgio. This album I put at number 6 for me. I'm double checking just to make sure I am reading that correctly. At number 6, this album has some really awesome stuff on here. Especially the back half of this album. Like I remember thinking at the time, you know, maybe I'm liking this song just because it's new, it's fresh. And I'm glad because of this ranking the albums, it gave me this chance to now see this album more so for what it was. And I could still say I have mostly the same fond feelings I had for this album then that I do now. There's a few things I don't like as much, but the shit that is great on here really hits. Like the opener and closer are absolute ass kickers. Absolute all-time
Night Stalkers.
Oh,
yeah. Did I say more?
That's got Ice-T on there. That's got
what an unexpectedly relevant song, given what just happened a few weeks ago.
Oh, and I'm going to say something.
The Night Stalkers were the guys who flew the Delta in to go get Maduro.
When I went through this album and I saw the Ice-T thing, I'm like, oh God, it's going to be some cringy metal song that has a rap break in it that some of the bands were doing. Black Sabbath did it. I think even Alice Cooper did it, where it's just like, what the hell are you doing, guys? Like, rap and metal do not belong in the same universe. Actually, rap, just put a C on it and you define rap perfectly. But somehow it's Ice-T just doing a cool, like, commando voiceover. It's like, no, that's
even body count.
Yeah, he just comes on with this, like, cool, like, voiceover. It's like, no, that's actually fantastic. Blew my mind. Like, I'm putting this album at number 5. I really love this album. This is, you know,
wow.
I'm going to put this at high praise just because, again, it's like, this is Megadeth. This is what Megadeth is. It's in line with the first 4 albums. This is who you should be. I really was so surprised at how good this album was, and I knew I was going to like it from the opening track. Because when an opening track hits that hard, I will say maybe 8 out of 10 times the rest of the album will be just as good as that title track.
Yeah, no,
And it
agreed.
delivers.
Agreed.
The middle,
Yeah,
yeah, the middle
the
sucks a
middle's
little
the
bit.
shakiest. The middle's the shakiest. It's weird because I said to you earlier before the show started that I actually like Junkie, but my biggest issue is that it doesn't fit in the context of everything going on in the album. It feels like a really good B-side. If that was like a bonus track or like on like a Hidden Treasures album, which is their B-sides album, I would roll with it. But it doesn't fit on here. The middle part is the weakest. Dogs of Chernobyl has some really strong parts, but the rest of it weighs it down with a fucking anchor.
Yeah, I mean, that was where the album kind of slows down for me towards the middle section. I was like, oh god, I mean, I really like the start, but this is starting to chug a little bit here.
Go ahead, Disciple. You were saying?
Yeah, I was gonna agree. Like Dogs of Chernobyl, you trimmed 2 minutes off that song, that like that like slow opening. Pretty killer, but it's just it dragged on too long and you lost me before it got good. I can't like this. Like I can appreciate it, but I can't love it because it's just you bored me with it. But when you muscle them through that and you get to Soldier On, and it's like it picks right back up to the end, right all the way to the end. It pops right back up, and I love the foreshadowing with "We'll Be Back," as if Megadeth is like, "We're not done yet."
Yeah, it's a killer closer of the album. It's such a great closer. I love that song so much. It's like, dude, this is a great closer. Celebutante, Soldier On. And then it was a great setup too, because then they kind of go into some hard rocky territory with Mission to Mars, but it kind of actually works. And it's a very fun song, kind of like if Endgame at 1320, this album has Mission to Mars. It's the fun song of the album, and it actually kind of works. And then it blazes at the end with full on state of the art high speed thrash metal with "We'll Be Back." As Disciple said, it's a very appropriate closer and foreshadowing. I think as Pope said, one of you guys said that. Regardless, the point still remains. The second half of this album overall is a stronger half than the first half. First half starts off good, but the second half hits into some straight up all around greatness. What's up, Nick the Greek? Yeah. I love it. And number 6. Go ahead, Disciple. Then we'll go into.
And I was going to say with that foreshadowing, never being like the biggest Megadeth fan in the world until I really started listening to them. This forcing me. This is why I was so happy to do this, because it forced me to go and listen to Megadeth, and I really enjoyed. Well, I can't say I enjoyed everything because it was torture. But going back and then revisiting the singles they've just released, I think this new album is going to be a very good farewell album for Megadeth. And I think that if we ever do revisit this once, Megadeth, the album settles in, I think we're going to be, there's got to be some readjustment. But I think based off this, and based on what we've seen, it's going to be a very nice closing for Megadeth.
Okay. Pope, I know I got Disciple's score. He was number 5. Where are you at?
This is my number 5 as well. I was surprised it beat out Countdown, but when I was doing my, listen along and kind of giving my impressions to myself, I was like, no, you know what? I actually like this better. Especially some of the high points on this album are fantastic. Like we said, Night Stalkers, absolute banger of a track. I actually really dig Mission to Mars. Like, it was a different song for them, but I really liked it. So, like, I like a lot of the stuff on this with some of the drum beats, because it kind of gets into the jazzier side of it, which is where a lot of Megadeth actually comes from, which I always thought was pretty cool. And like you said, I love that foreshadowing of "We'll Be Back," of "Don't go anywhere. We're not done. We're not done with you yet." And I was
the album cover rocks.
Yeah, sick, absolutely sick.
I just wish it wasn't 3D rendered. I wish it was an actual painting. But other than that, it is sick. Even the compilation album, Warheads on Foreheads, is killer. Vic on the jet, the jet fighter. But again, it's 3D rendered. If it was a painting, it would be killer, you know? But
as far as the computer generated covers go, this is easily my favorite one.
yeah.
It's the only one I'll even say out of the computer generated covers that I actually even like even. And I do like that 16 albums into their career with the success they had, at least they still give a shit about album covers. And also they still care about putting their main mascot on the cover. So because their main bands, when they get to the, let's just say the level that they get, this type of stuff, these little things kind of become like an afterthought to them. Doesn't even like, it's something that they don't even entertain anymore. So I'll at least give them credit for that.
And I've said it a million times on my channel. People have, anybody who's paid attention to me at for any point will know exactly where I'm going with this. The album cover is indicative of the level of effort that they put in and thought that they put into the album. Like if it's just a slapped on album cover like Risk, it's gonna sound like shit because they just didn't care enough to even try.
Well, the only band that doesn't follow that rule of thumb is Iron Maiden, because some of their newer album covers rock, but oh my gosh, did the albums suck.
Very true.
Okay.
So you can't always apply that logic.
So really quickly, that guys have you both down correctly for 11 each for cryptic writings?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I have that correct, because I think we officially have the image done. I will show it to our chat, which, by the way, chat, thank you for being here. And I'm going to get this image out so you guys can see our rankings in real time, because this has been one for the ages. Okay. And got it. Okay. Boing. I'm waiting for it. There we go. Okay. Okay, dude. If I gotta edit anything, let me know. But I think this should be it here. Okay, so let me know
it's
if I.
taking a long time to get it up.
I know. What can I say? So I'm sorry. Okay. There it is. There's our rankings. Nick, Disciple, Pope. I think I got you guys all correct. If I did, let me know if I got you guys' scores on, but I think I got you guys all correct. This is a lot to keep up with. Between getting the album covers up, checking the video screen, and then keeping track of the chat. Like, hello.
I love how, for the most part, we were pretty much on the same page, except with a few exceptions on there.
Yeah,
we'll avoid countdown, but even though I'm right on that, I mean, anyways,
you're absolutely horrendously wrong on that one. That album, so bloody fun, so much.
It's my truth. It's my truth. Okay.
There's no such thing as my truth.
Yes, there is.
No,
and my truth is right.
My truth. My truth. There's no that is leftism in a nutshell. Leftism in a nutshell. That's our ones, guys. But yes, I see you in the chat. Thank you guys for listening to our show. And Disciple and Pope, thank you guys for being a part of this show. Yeah, new album tomorrow. Possibly the final one. Yes, Sword Slicer. One man chose to be wrong and put at 16. That would be this guy here. This guy. I had a number 5, but this guy he wanted to be like that. At least Pope had some respect and did number 5, but no. Yeah, this guy here. I won't say we forgive his imperfection. We will tolerate it. But that said, Megadeth's supposedly final album comes out tomorrow. It's the 17th one. It's self-titled. I will be going to a local record store to go scoop it up, even in the freezing cold of Illinois. Yes, I am. I'm that committed.
Maybe I'll go scoop that up Saturday if they have it at my record store.
Yeah. I will say this, though. I'm actually fairly optimistic about it. Obviously, Dirk Verbeuren's still in the band from the previous album. And they got one of the guitarists from Winter Sun for this album. Ooh. And he's got a name that I can't pronounce. I'm not going to butcher it. And James Lomenzo, it's his album, third one with the band as well. And I thought I only listened to one song, and that was Tipping Point. I thought that was a really killer song. So I'm trying to go into as much as album cold as possible. I want to be as spoiler free of this album as possible. I've only heard one song of the 10, and I want to keep it that way. And I like that it's 10 songs, and which is something they've not done in a long time. A, B, it's their shortest album in many years as well.
I was going to say
that actually makes me optimistic that this is going to be a good album because of the fact that it sounds like it just gets to the point, doesn't try to drag around and just go through the motion. So I'm actually feeling good about that.
Because far too many Megadeth albums overstayed their welcome. And it's like, I get it, Dave. You're singing like Taylor Swift about breakups and you hate big government. I got it, Dave. I got that the first time I listened to you.
Who were those breakups for?
Right? It's like, Dave, you've been married to the same woman for 30 years. How are you this good at breakups?
It's a breakup from his old self because he doesn't have to go, hello, me. I'm not me. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
That was actually funny. I got to give you credit. That was funny. But, man, sweating bullets. Okay. Anyways, comes out tomorrow, dude. Comes out tomorrow. The 17th album's out tomorrow. So, guys, if you don't catch this show, it will be uploaded to Bonded by Metal's YouTube channel. But you guys got anything really quick you got to plug? Oh, no.
I mean,
okay.
I'm going to try to get back to Midnight Mass at some point here in the near future. My Rumble radio show. If you guys are interested, I do have like a year's worth of shows over there that you can go check out if you're into some newer metal, some more obscure stuff that I like to pick out of the ether from time to time. And it's literally just, I modeled it after Nights with Alice Cooper, back when he used to have his own radio show. And so go check it out. And hopefully I'll be getting back to it here soon because my work schedule just changed to kind of make that possible.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to come back with some of the show I did, the Bonded by Metal rock radio. What was, I forget the exact name that it came with, but I think it was Airways of Anarchy. Had a lot of fun doing that show, and I'm gonna have to bring that back on Rumble when I get some time. Kind of like a Midnight Mass. It's an alternative to Midnight Mass. It's not replacing Midnight Mass. It's just a fun little alternative for y'all.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It's been fun. And chat, thanks for being here. You all take care of yourselves. You all lay down your souls to the gods, rock and roll.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell it.